So we edited the first date episode in a way to make it feel like it was a cohesive whole, as if Josiah, you and I had one normal evening where we talked about first date, and then
which is a sad normal. That is a sad normal to begin with.
Yeah, normal has changed a lot for us over the last year. But I think it was betrayed a little bit in the interview with Josh, and much more so, I think, just by the exhausted timbre of our voices, that the experience of the first date episode was actually a much longer journey than what we originally published last week.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I feel like we started it at 4 p.m. my time, and I took a 10-minute break to eat some food, and I said hello to Sarah at around 10 p.m. I want to say.
Yeah, it was a real all-encompassing. Sort of, to be honest, the way the pod always feels to me, but the true manifestation of sort of my soul's vision of the podcast.
Hopefully it made you realize that it's not that bad every other, maybe now you won't take it for granted as much how not bad it is.
It was a real and that's why you don't complain that the podcast sucks up your entire life.
So yeah, we picked an enormous hit for our 1-year anniversary, and then there was so much shit to talk about, and then Josh came to your house with the documents, while hang on, how did that even work? There were so many covers, I was like, let's take a break so I can please eat some food. So we took a 10-minute break, and then the documents thing took, what was that, 50 minutes?
At least, yeah.
And then we came back and did, another hour of covers.
At least an hour of covers, and then which we arbitrarily cut off kind of in the middle. Aside from complaining about the length, the sheer planning of that alone is ridiculous. It's some ridiculous Christopher Nolan jumping around meta time code shit. Yeah, it truly was our tip of the hat to the great and kind of low key fascist works of Christopher Nolan, but still, they're fun movies to watch sometimes. Editing it to try to get it to make sense was sort of a task in and of itself, and reminded me of the halcyon days of the first couple of weeks of the pod, where I thought I could edit this thing down and make it just real zippy 40-minute episodes, but that ultimately sort of
joke free,
all facts, but
humorless.
Well, we lean our just general hilarious and clever sense of humor leans very hard on callbacks and sort of, I guess, consistent inside jokes, and so trying to kind of remove chunks of conversation and still construct a cohesive 3-hour podcast about the song First Date was not without its challenges, and perhaps this will explain some of the confusion that listeners may have felt.
Right, and this is the first one that I actually haven't been able to listen to, where I'm just I'm just going to let this one be. I don't want to relive that day.
Really, eh? You haven't returned to it?
No, I haven't. But yeah, so I think you'll really notice, so we chopped out a whole bunch of covers, and I think you'll notice by the end of these Sclusies that we are getting very feverish cabin fever vibe.
My voice
and it's
is so
pretty
small.
Good actually. It made me think maybe we should always just record for 6 hours and delete the first 3 hours. That would be better.
We were feeling unsteady about the first little bit, and then I felt by midnight my time I was I'm really hitting my stride. So
that's probably when you're really feeling the liquid confidence too much or whatever, and you think that you're the life of the party, but actually it's making everyone feel really uncomfortable. Maybe it's more like that. We will let the listener decide.
So these are the Sclusies, or these are the covers that were too hot for the non-Sclusie episode. So that's why we had to put them behind the paywall. For you, the paying customers of Blink-155.
Thanks for your money, idiots.